Somebody tweeted me and said, you didn't mention Clarence 13X, who is the founder of the 5% Nation. And I didn't mention him not because he shouldn't be mentioned. I just couldn't mention everybody that should be mentioned, but he certainly should be mentioned. Because his work, though he is absent, is still going on. And the young brothers and sisters that have been affected by the knowledge that he brought out of the mosque and gave
peace
to young
to the
people.
Sevens, peace to the 1-7s. Come to divine name of sincere science of law. I see today's mathematics as wisdom, all being born to culture or freedom. Wisdom degree in the supreme alphabet is V, which is victorious, victory. As a true and living God, you should strive to be victorious in all you do. The true and living is victorious with or without an opponent, because we always stay on top, because we that beautiful cream that rises to the top.
Hey, yo, this meth right here, man, you want some true life right here? This true life right here. All y'all talking about keeping it real and all that, ain't nothing realer than the Father, all right? In the name of Allah, a book by Wakil Allah. Peace to the gods. Make sure y'all support this, man. Word is bond.
The order in which I received 120 was Supreme Mathematics, Supreme Alphabet, 12 Jewels of Islam, student enrollment 1 through 10, 1 through 36, 1 through 14, 1 through 40, actual facts and solar facts. And at the time, the God was explaining to me my reason for getting my 1 through 36 after my student enrollment was based upon the fact that when you get down to the knowledge degree in the 1 through 36, it asks, does that have anything to do with the above question number 10? But right above number 10 is not a question, number 10 is a statement. So in order to receive the above question number 10, you will have to refer to the above question number 10 in student enrollment. Which asks the question, was the birth record of said nations other than Islam? And that answer is Christianity 551 years old, Buddhism 35,000 years old. I knowledge 120 in the year born God. Knowledge 20 has definitely been a powerful asset in my life since then. 120 is definitely alive and exerts power, and it'll definitely make you sharper than any two-edged sword if you apply it and you walk it and you talk it. 120 is definitely a tool that should be used in your everyday life and will be used in your everyday life because it's so active. If you peer into it, it's going to take over and pervade your being. So, you know, even to tamper and play with it is going to have an effect on you in some kind of way.
And accept their own kind, join on to the true religion, which is Islam, join on to the Muslim teachings, which is taught to us by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, on this black man preaching the truth to black people. Clean up your own neighborhoods, do something for yourself, quit begging to integrate and beg to separate.
I mean, if you just pay attention to some of the prominent men that we all know of, that we know for a fact studied 120 at one point in their life, like Muhammad Ali, for instance. Muhammad Ali, he was a great boxer, he was a futurist, but when he peered into 120 and started living 120, he became an international individual. You know, he became more bigger outside the ring than he actually was in the ring. If you look at the great Malcolm X, Malik El Haj
all white people. I don't think it's a fair question. The white man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or cattle or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will, and then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes.
Malcolm X, he was, You know, to be totally honest with you, when he was living that savage life, he was running around doing everything under the sun. But once he came into contact with Elijah Muhammad's teachings in the 120 lessons, he became an international figure, speaking at so-called prestigious colleges like Berkeley and, you know, different places like that. He became on a huge international scale. Mathematics and science is the orderly direction of all things in existence. It's perpetual, and we need to be perpetual in our studies and perpetual in how we live and walk and talk these mathematics. It's just like the nucleus of an atom. That electron is constantly spinning all the time, constantly. And that's where that magnetism comes in at. That's what we have to do. We have to constantly walk and talk and spit these mathematics because it's attractive to these youth out here and these babies. They the ones that we need to save. So if we, you know, we show them by means of our conduct and, you know, we walking and talking these mathematics, we gonna show and prove that magnetic and we gonna draw them into us. And they the easiest people to build with because they never heard it before and it's gonna be exciting to them.
It's the duty of a civilized person who's a member of the 5 said nation is to teach civilization to what? The uncivilized.
What's the duty of a civilized person? To teach he who is savage, civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, and the science of everything in life, which is love, peace, and happiness. So all of us that call ourselves civilized and all of us that stand on being civilized, we got a duty to perform out here. We need to teach what we know to each and every one of those out there that do not know.